Welcome back, mathematicians. And guess what time it is? It's time to tell time. It's time to tell time. I know you guys are excited, right? Everybody always wants to know, what time is it, Miss Carter? When we have lunch, Miss Carter? Is it time for recess, Miss Carter? Guess who's about to learn how to tell time? You are. So, Miss Carter has a lot to explain today. Click those listening ears on and be those super smart mathematicians that I know you can be. And let's get ready to tell time. Okay, guys? All right. So, what is this? Right. It's a clock. And a clock helps us to do what? Exactly. How to tell time. So, when you look at the clock, what do you notice about it? What do you see on this clock? Okay, see numbers. I see a blue arrow, and I see a red arrow. Well, when we are reading a clock, that's what it's called when you're telling time. You're reading the clock. There are two arrows, which are called hands, okay? One hand is shorter and one hand is longer. The longer hand is the minute hand. It tells you how many minutes there are. And the shorter hand, the red hand for now, is the hour hand. There are 12 hours on the face of the clock. See, we have the numbers 1 through 12. But there are 24 hours in a day. So during a day, we will go through this clock 2 times. And then it will be a new day. And there are 60 minutes in each hour. So it's 24 hours, 60 minutes in each hour. Today, we're going to learn how to tell time by the hour. So when I know you hear people say, oh, it's 12 o'clock. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. We're going to tell time to the hour, which means we're going to be saying it's 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock, okay? So when we tell time to the hour, our minute hand is going to stay on the 12. Because when that minute hand is on the 12, it's starting a new hour. It's starting us back at 0 for our clock, okay? And then we need to look at our hour hand, or our red hand that shows the hour, to tell us what time it is. So if my clock looks like this, I'm gonna look at my red hand first, because red, the hour comes first and then the minutes come. So I'm looking at my clock and I say, oh, my red hand is on the 3, or my hour hand is on the 3. Then I say, my minute hand is on the 12, which shows me it's a new hour starting. So I'm going to say it is 3 o'clock. Whenever that minute hand, that long blue arrow, is on that 12, it is, whatever the hour is, o'clock, okay? And the way that we would write that would look like this. If I said, what time is it, guys? You wouldn't draw me a clock out to tell me the time. You would say it is 2 o'clock. I'm sorry, it is 3 o'clock. So 3, 2 dots over top of each other, 0, 0. Another way to say that is 3, the number 3, and then we have the written way. And we say 3 o'clock. Either way is okay. I know some of you guys have seen this way before. When my clock looks like this, where do we see time that looks like this? Yep, on the microwave sometimes. Sometimes on our cable box at home. And mostly, where do we see it? On our phones. I know you guys have those, or our tablets, or our iPads. It shows us time like this. Well, either way is right, but I want you guys to learn how to read a clock like this. This is called an analog clock. When you see it this way, it's digital, and we'll learn more about that later. But we're learning how to tell time with an analog clock today, okay? Today, I'm gonna write some time on a clock, and I want you guys to see if you can tell me what time it is, okay? I want you to always keep in mind that the blue hand tells the minutes and the red hand tells the hour. But we always are going to say our hour first and then our minutes. So when we look at our clock, we want to look at the hour and then the minutes. Our time format is going to look something like this. So this is for the hour and this is for the minutes. And I know you're wondering, Miss Carter, why is it 2 spaces? Because if it's 3 o'clock, that's not 2 numbers. Well, you're right. But just like in math, if I put a 0 in front of my 3, it still shows 3. Still 3. It's just to hold that space, okay? Because sometimes we will get to hours that have more than 1 digit in them. And then it's going to have 2 zeros because it is o'clock. We're starting a new hour. 0 minutes, right? When we're at 12, it means we're back at 0 minutes. Got it? We're starting a new hour. So, Miss Carter put this fancy little easel thing just for you guys so that we can learn how to tell time. And I've drawn out these big blank clocks. I'm going to put some hours on them, and I want to know if you guys can help me tell what time it is. Who can help me and tell me what time the top clock is showing? Let's take a look, okay? So remember, our blue hand, and I hope you guys can see that. Our blue hand shows our what? Our minutes. And our minutes right now are at what? Well, they're pointing to the 12, and the 12 means 0. On a clock, the 12 is bringing us back to a new hour, so it's 0. Just like we're starting back over fresh. So, then we're going to look at the red hand. And the red hand shows our what? Our hour. So the red hand, it's not as long as the blue hand. So you've got to look to see exactly where it's pointing. And it's pointing to our 7. So that would make this what? Exactly, guys. 7 o'clock. This, when our blue hand is pointing to the 12, it's saying it's a new hour, and that's how we say o'clock. So our hour is 7, and it's 7 o'clock. So I could write that by saying 7. Ooh, I know that looks a little shaky. Or I could do it the other way and by writing it out as 7 o'clock. Either way, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock. They all mean the same thing. Let's try another one. What time is it here? I hope you guys can see that. There we go. All right. We're going to look at our minute hand first. And it's pointing to what? Right, the 12. So it's a new hour. So we know it's going to say something o'clock. And where's our hour hand pointing? Where's the red hand pointing? Well, let's draw the line out. Boop, 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 boop. It's pointing right at our 4. So what time is this clock showing us? Exactly. 4 o'clock. Because when we say time, we'd have to say the hour first and then the minutes. So 4 o'clock. So you're going to always do your red first and then your blue. So this clock is showing us that it is 4 o'clock. Great work, scholars. Today in your work time, you're going to look at some other clocks. And you're going to tell me what time it is on those clocks. Remember, your minute hand is blue and your hour hand is red. Make sure that you always say the hour first and then the minute. I'll be checking your work, and thanks for checking in for Math with Miss Carter. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.